Hey, 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 Cardinals. It's Miss Wall, and honestly, I'm gonna let you know a few things. Number one, if you missed any part of last week's lessons, then you gotta go watch out that banger video on the Flipgrid series that my classroom ambassadors put together for you. They basically did a recap of last Friday's assignment where we dove into the Middle Ages and feudalism. Today, we're going to scroll down a little bit and take a little quick break at the new Black History topic, which is on Afrofuturism. That is a new part of literature and writing. And so I do have a poster up here of my daughter for the show that she did that is talking about this new genre of writing for Black writers. So that gives us a chance to probe into the list of prolific Black writers, poets, and playwrights, from Lorraine Hansberry to Langston Hughes to my favorite, Zora Neale Hurston, all the way down to Jacqueline Woodson, Ruby Dee, Ossie Davis, Roger Guenveur Smith, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Eric Dickey, Sister Soldier, Ernest Gaines, and even local Charlotte writers such as Rory Sheriff, Vicki Evans, Brianna Venable, and me. Hello. Click that link if you want to get into that. But today we're going to talk about the Middle Ages some more and then ask ourselves the question, what made them dark? What made them dark? So when we scroll down and pay attention, we also understand and recognize that you guys are actually in school. So rotation A students, what we're going to start doing from here on out, now that you guys are actually present, you guys will be required to watch the video first. So part of your synchronous teacher instruction time would be listening to these videos. So you need to make sure in your notes you write down the goal statement and listen to the EQ that says, were the Dark Ages really dark? Your goal statement, I can define feudalism and cultural diffusion and link it to the beginning of the Renaissance. Today we're going to do an image analysis discussion. Um, you're going to do some close reading, but look, it sets up a debate on whether or not we should call it a dark age. So when you take notes today, you're setting yourself up for a potential debate. And so for foreclosure, you'll have a discussion whether you decide what you call this period that's often referred to as the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages. Let's click the activities. So you have a few images. In the discussion post, respond to the prompt. What makes a dark age? And do either of these pictures represent what you think might be going on in a dark age? So there's one painting, two paintings. Basically, you will be comparing and contrasting. And remember, your question is, what makes a dark age? And do those pictures represent what you might think could be going on during a dark age? Put your response in the box. You need only take about 5 minutes for that at the most. So after the 5 minutes are up, then you have your first activity. It's a deep read, which is questioning whether or not the age truly was dark. Your student directions. Read this article on the Dark Ages and take notes in your spiral notebooks. So here's the debate. It's an article written by Bridget Bird O'Connor, and she wants to know if the images in popular culture refer to Europe during the Middle Ages as a dark time period. Many scholars from the 14th and 19th centuries would have agreed. But is the term Dark Ages one that most historians today would reject? So you really already need to know your position. Are you for it or are you against it? Be ready to argue your point. This Lexile score is 1030, which is perfect for ninth grade. But here's the debate. You got some images, and they want you to put the images in chronological order based on technique, realism, and skill of the artist. So here are the three pictures. They've given you the titles and who actually painted them, but they want to know which one is the oldest. Which one is the oldest? And then you're going to read about the debate. And the first thing he says is, I'm guessing many of you said that the Cantigas de Santa Maria is the oldest. However, the oldest one by 12 centuries is Woman with Wax Tablets and Stylus. It's a painting from the Roman town of Pompeii that dates to the 1st century CE, and the Cantigas de Santa Maria is from the 13th century CE. Have no idea why it's always that way, debatable issues, but I want you to take down enough notes so that when it is time for us to have a class discussion, that we can really go into details. So make sure you find out the difference between the Renaissance and the Enlightenment view of the Middle Ages. Make sure you look at the modern view of the Middle Ages and just how we are still fighting that in the 21st century. So here's another image. It says ruins of Tintagel Castle in England. Make sure you read that because it says Renaissance and Enlightenment scholars like Petrarch and Gibbon were influential. And because of this, later 19th century and 20th century scholars accepted the arguments and romanticized the Romans and Greeks. That's the part. They romanticized it. So if you've ever asked yourself, why are we doing this? Why do I have to study this? That's why. It says, without any cultural achievements, the debate continues, and they're not going to argue that the past wasn't simple. They say if there was a period that deserves the Dark Ages label, and it was pretty short, and it was not truly dark, we just don't have enough historical sources to light the way. So you're supposed to write or think, was there ever a Dark Age? And then they cite their sources, and we scroll to next. And you have another crash course video on Mansa Musa. You must take notes on that video. And then once you take the 10-question quiz, it's over. It's over. So while the Dark Ages refer specifically to Europe, is this a fair name considering what was going on there in other places of the world? If so, why? And if not, then what should it be called? 3 to 5 sentences. Don't forget, in the last slide, you just saw images from the bubonic plague. All right. Once you hit that answer, then you got a dancing puppy, the tail wagging, and like Sammy said in the other video, hit return to the unit page. You are done. All this other stuff is where we're going. Dark Ages, Mongol Empire, spread of Islam for two and a half days. 2.5 days. We will have tutorial this week at 3 p.m. for people who messed up on the second celebration assessment, and we'll go from there. All right, you guys have a blessed day. We have a busy week. We'll try to keep it as simple as possible. Bye bye.